Right, hello, welcome to episode 26 of the Fisher Fitness Coaching Podcast. Hopefully, this time the quality of the video is a lot better. Last week, for some reason, it was very jumpy during recording, so I'm not sure why. Those of you who watched it on YouTube, it was just a bit shit. But I've changed some settings on my phone. From what I can see now, it's still a bit jumpy. I don't know. Hopefully it will play a bit smoother. But oh well. So this episode is going to be about. So it's specifically for the lads who want to improve their arms, so get bigger arms, but specifically fill out their t-shirt. You know what it's like. I mean, if you're a guy listening to this, you know what it's like when you're out and about. You want to look good in a t-shirt, right? You want to fill it out in the right areas, but you don't want to you don't want to fill it out in the wrong areas. So obviously by that I mean you don't want to have it tight around the belly or the sort of love handle areas. You want it tight around or tighter around the chest, back, shoulders, arms, traps, so the sort of neck area. That's where you want it snug, right? And then you want it looser around where your belly and your lower back and your they're called obliques, but they're love handles. That's where you know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to go into exactly how to do that, because a lot of guys out there will assume it's just building bigger biceps, because I've heard it so many times before. How do you build bigger arms? How do you get bigger biceps? And if you say to a lad, I want to get bigger arms, they automatically go straight for the arm curls. They go for the dumbbells and start doing loads of curls because they want to get bigger biceps, right? And yet, obviously, the biceps are part of the arm, and that's going to help you increase the size of your arms. But if you think about it, the bicep on the whole is quite a small muscle. And to have bigger arms, you need to work three muscles in particular. So the biceps, yes. Triceps is probably the most important muscle to build if you want bigger arms, and shoulders. You got to think where the shoulders are in relation to the whole arm. So the arm area, which is where you want it bigger, is made up of three major muscle groups: the bicep, tricep, and shoulder. Okay, so that's just for the arm. So if you work on building those three muscles, it's gonna help fill out your t-shirts. But obviously we don't just want the arms to be bigger and fuller, because if we just worked on the arms, then you'd have big arms but a flat chest and then a sort of flat small back, and that wouldn't look right. Okay, so you need the whole package. So to enable you to fill out your t-shirt in the summertime or whenever you wear a shirt or a t-shirt, you need to be working also your chest, your back, the whole of your back, because it's made up of lots of muscles. But I'm just going to say back because we want to work every single muscle group on that area. So what I'll do is, once I've explained all this, I will put a basic upper body workout in the description box or wherever it is, YouTube, Spotify, and you can simply just copy and paste it onto your phone, or I don't know, take a picture of it, copy and paste it onto your laptop, whatever's easiest. But I'll go through it anyway. But I'll just basically have it. I'll put it on there for you to use in the gym next time, because obviously, yes, it's very important to work your lower body as well. That's obvious. But for this episode, just going to put in a basic upper body workout, which will help build your upper body. It will help you achieve the goal of filling out your t-shirts. Believe it or not, it's quite a big deal. Like, being able to fill out and look good in t-shirts. I remember this is years ago, when I first started going to the gym, when I was pretty scrawny. I got told I was scrawny for the first time. That really sort of hit home. And then I noticed other comments coming in, like when I used to work in a pub, I was always told to eat more, or if there was ever a fight, I would never be able to defend myself or look after myself or look after anyone, and that was true. And that was actually one of the main reasons why I started the gym, because there was a massive fight. I was behind the bar. It's quite a rough pub in Norwich at the time. Yeah, massive fight. I couldn't do anything. I just stood behind the bar watching it, and as a sort of 18-year-old lad who's behind the bar at the time, you're sort of in charge, I suppose, and you couldn't do anything about it because because you're so skinny. I'd get thrown across the room, I'd get thrown out the window. So that was sort of a hitting point, or that was the main one of the main reasons why I wanted to look a bit bigger, a little bit more, like I could look after myself a bit more, I suppose. So yeah, I mean, I did what all lads do. Just started working on my upper body, bench press, all that kind of stuff, arm curls, because I wanted to look bigger. I wanted to have a bigger chest, bigger back, bigger arms. And that's the same now. Like when I go out, or if I go out, don't much anymore, but if I ever go out, or when I used to go out a lot, always wanted to look good in a t-shirt, or you want to look good in a shirt. You don't want to be you don't want the shirt or t-shirt sort of hanging off you, do you? And you especially don't want it hanging off you on the arms or chest, and then have it tight around the belly. So yeah, I'm going to go through how to not do that. Makes sense? Yeah. So let's start with I mean, I guess automatically you would think, right, to get bigger arms, you just need to do arm curls, maybe some tricep push downs, maybe some shoulder press or some lateral raises or something, but not necessarily. I will go through the main movements you need to do in the gym in order to grow an upper body, which means your arms will also grow with that, without doing any sort of isolation exercises for your arms. So there's just 4 basic movements, right? That's it, 4 basic movements. It's going to be a horizontal push, and that could be anything like a barbell bench press. It could be a dumbbell bench press. And I'll put all this in the description box so you can use it. But it's going to be it's going to be a horizontal push or press of some sort, a horizontal pull, a vertical push, and a vertical pull. So you've got 4 movements there, 4 big movements. Now, whatever movement you want is up to you. So, like I said, for the horizontal push, let's go for a dumbbell bench press. For the horizontal pull, let's go for a seated row, a wide grip seated row. And that's going to get the sort of upper to mid back. God, my cat scared the shit out of me. Oh my God. He's just standing outside in the window, just staring at me. I thought I could see something in my peripheral, and I was like, "Nah, nothing's there." Because I'm downstairs today in the dining room, and I just looked and saw this big cat just staring at me. Anyway, where was I? So yeah, a vertical push. Let's go for a dumbbell shoulder press, or just a shoulder press with the machine. And then a vertical pull is a lat pull down or a pull up. It's up to you what you use, or what exercise, or what variation you use, all right? It's sort of, I was going to say it's the same thing. It's not really, but in the grand scheme of things, for argument's sake, it's basically the same thing. So you want those 4 movements, right? And you want to be, oh, Charlie, for fuck's sake. Now he's hitting the window. So basically, each of those movements, right? Whatever area you want to work on most, will go first. So if you want a bigger chest, if you want to work on your chest, you go for the dumbbell press first. Charlie, fuck off. Can you hear that? Come through the cat flap, you stupid cat. The thing is, right, with these movements, you're not only going to work the major muscle groups, you're going to work your biceps and triceps and shoulders as well, which is why the big compound movements are so important for building arms as well as your major muscle groups, which is your back, chest, and shoulders. So you go for your dumbbell bench press first. 4 to 5 sets of around 8 to 15 reps, making sure that you're taking each working set close to failure, right? And your technique is good, obviously. So getting all the basics in there. I'm not going to go into it too much because I know I've gone through all this before in terms of how to build muscle. But let's go for the dumbbell bench press first because you want to focus on you building a bigger chest. And by the way, and remember, that's going to get your triceps too and the front of your shoulders. So next we'll go for the seated row. That's going to get your biceps, or mainly your upper back, mid to upper back, and some biceps. So it's going to not only going to grow your back, it's going to help grow your biceps too. And then we'll go for a shoulder press. So obviously it's going to get shoulders and some triceps. So it's going to your triceps are going to get some growth with your shoulders. And then the pull down to finish will be mainly lats and some biceps. So you're getting all the main muscle groups in there. You're using all the muscles you want to build bigger arms and a bigger upper body, which is going to help fill out your t-shirt. So that's your main workout. It's basic, right? It's 4 exercises, 4 to 5 sets on each exercise of around 8 to 15 hard reps. Then at the end of that workout, you can work on the smaller muscle groups, the arm stuff, so the isolation stuff. So what I do normally is, I don't tend to work on my arms on their own. I don't know. I can't be bothered because I know the benefits of just doing heavy compounds. You get some growth from that anyway. But if you do want to work on just your arms, then you'd go from that. You'd move on to some isolation. So you'd maybe do some an isolation on the chest, isolation on the shoulders, and an isolation on the upper back. Okay, so an example of that would be for chest, it would be a Pec Fly because it isolates just the chest. It gets a little bit of bicep in there because your elbows are slightly bent, but not much. And then for shoulders, you do like a cable lateral raise. Very good for isolating just the shoulders. Okay, same sort of thing, 3 to 4 sets, 8 to 15 hard reps, going to near failure. On these, you can take them pretty much to failure because there's less chance of injury. And then you go for like an isolation upper back movement, like you could do a chest supported seated row, for example, or a reverse fly maybe, even though that's more sort of rear delts or rear shoulders, should I say. But it's going to get some upper back in there for you as well. So once you've done that, then you can move on to the isolation for the arms. All right, so remember what I said, to get bigger arms, you need to focus on the bigger muscles, which is your shoulders and your triceps. So I'd maybe start with your triceps, because remember, you've just done some isolation for your shoulders. So a great isolation exercise for your triceps is like a cable push down or cable crossover push down, for example. By the way, these exercises are demonstrated in my Ultimate Training Program exercise library, so make sure you download it to get an idea of what the exercises actually look like, and that will help you in the gym next time. So anyway, a cable tricep push down. The benefit of using a cable is the resistance curve is constant, or there's a consistent resistance or strength curve. Basically means you get a lot of tension on the target muscle, which is going to help increase the growth. Right, so that's why cables are so good. So you do 3-4 sets of those, and then maybe you finish off with either some dumbbell, some seated dumbbell bicep curls, some hammer curls, or something. arm curls using the EZ bar maybe, but just be careful on the wrists on that one. Or you could just do some cable curls. Again, constant resistance, really good way to fatigue the bicep and help growth. So if you think about what I've done, it started with the big movements, right? The big compound push pull movements, vertical pull push, horizontal pull push. Then I've made my way to isolation for the big muscle groups, so chest isolation, pec fly, lateral raise, shoulders, and then reverse fly for upper back. As long as you get your scapula moving. I don't want to go into too much detail, but and then from there move on to the arm isolation stuff. So the tricep push down with a cable, and then obviously you've done your shoulders. You can do some more if you want to, and then some cable curls for the biceps. 3 to 4 sets, so you've got like a good amount of volume in the upper body workout, right? So that's a pretty decent upper body workout you've got there. If you do that twice a week, right? Twice a week, doesn't have to be different. Twice a week, every week for, I don't know, it could be forever if you want to, but you're constantly or consistently getting stronger gradually on those movements. You always either increasing the reps or increasing the load every few weeks. You're going to build a bigger upper body. You're going to build bigger arms. You are going to get the goal of filling out your t-shirt or your shirt. So if you were to start now, let's say, what's it, November, December, if you were to start now and you did that all the way through until May, what's that? So December, Jan, Feb, March, April. Yeah, that's 6 months worth of a decent upper body workout. If you did that consistently, every week, and you focused on the technique and taking your working sets close to failure, and you were either increasing the number of reps or the amount of load you were lifting gradually over time, you would build bigger arms. You would build bigger chest, back, shoulders, biceps, triceps, traps, lats, all the good stuff. All the good muscles you want to build to fill out your t-shirt. You would look awesome in May, June, summertime when you were out with your lads, wearing a nice t-shirt, wearing a nice shirt, slightly unbuttoned. Do you know what I mean? So you know how it is. You want your chest to be sort of slightly protruding. You want your shoulders to be sort of pumped. You want your back to be pumped. You want a nice set of traps on you. So you want to look like you lift, right? It's going to help massively with your confidence. And that's what I started to sort of get obsessed with. Not in a bad way, but once you start to see the changes, I remember again, because when you start training at the beginning, you get results very, very quickly. So again, when I was working in the pub, when I started training, it wasn't even proper training. I was just bench pressing and seated rowing and arm curling and stuff. I remember the first comment I had from one of the guys in the pub who was notoriously pretty rough. He was quite a bit of a hard bastard, and someone who I would have been a bit sort of wary of, definitely. But I luckily got on with most people there, so all the sort of hard lads I got on really well with, so I was in no sort of trouble. But the first comment I had was, "God, you've been working out, Rich," and it was a bit of a bit of a laugh, bit of a sort of a joke, but in a way, it was the fact that they would notice that I've been working out, and I could tell as well. Like my chest was bigger, I just felt bigger. I was putting on weight really quickly, and for someone like that to sort of mention it to me and notice it, it made me feel so good, and my confidence increased massively. And so yeah, I've been basically doing the same thing, i.e. being at the gym, trying to put on more muscle ever since, really. And here I am, like nearly 20 years later. But just remember, like if you first start training, you're going to get results quite quickly, and then after a few years of training, the result it slows down so much. So lower your expectations. Like I always say, when you first start, expect the results to be quite quick, but expect them to slow down after a couple of years, and then to the point where you barely see progress unless you are rigid with your programming and you write down everything, and you're sort of increasing or progressively overloading by like a rep every couple of weeks. That's how sort of intricate it needs to be. I don't do that at the minute, and I go into the gym and just I know my workout, but I go to failure or near to failure, and I try and lift a bit heavier every sort of few weeks. I don't take it that seriously, but the main reason I do it now is because it makes me feel better, because I'm used to just going 3-4 times a week. I know that if I was to actually record my workouts and write down what I was doing, I'd see better results. But I'm happy with how I am right now. Yes, I could be a bit bigger, but I'm not bothered. I've come a long way. Like I used to be. I remember when I first started, I was like 8.5 stone. So that's like 50 kilos. I want to find out. I think it was 8.5 stone in kilos. 53. That's 54 kilos. So I was 54 kilos when I first started. I remember that being 8.5 stone so vividly, because it was like I was skinny. Like there was nothing to me. I was just bones. And yeah, and the comments started, and that's why I thought, right, I need to maybe do something about this. So now I'm 80. Well, I was 84. I'm now down to 82 because I'm trying to lose a bit of body fat. But that's what did I just say? 54. Yeah, 54. So that's nearly 30 kilos. That's 30 kilos I've put on in 20 years. That's a lot, you know. Especially as I'm still fairly lean. Like I'm about 15% body fat. I mean, God knows what I was back then. Probably about 7. But yeah, 30 kilos. That's a lot. But that's 20 years. It's taken a long time. That's consistent training. Probably from not since 18, but probably from when I was about 24 up till now. That's consistently training. Yes, I went into CrossFit annoyingly, but we all make mistakes. But yeah, I've been in the gym doing some sort of lifting consistently for about 20 odd years now. And that's while going away traveling, going on holiday. I still manage to find the time to work out once, twice a week in different gyms or outside or whatever, Yes, I have a week off here and there when I need it, but I'm just trying to let you know, like it takes a long time. So anyway, I'm going off. I'm digressing as per usual. So essentially, that's how you fill out your t-shirt. That is how you get bigger arms. That's how you get bigger upper body. That's how you fill out your t-shirt. All right. I hope that helped. It was going to be between this episode and me talking about my why I started going to the gym, but I think I've just sort of mentioned that in this episode. So, bit of 2 for 1, kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Anyway, hope that helped. Yeah, download or copy and paste the workout and give it a go and let me know what you think. So finally, the Muscle Mastery Challenge is starting next week. I've got 18 lads in there at the minute, so feel free to register. It's completely free. You've got nothing to lose. Just let me know if you want the link and I'll send it to you. If not, it's in my Instagram bio. Just click that, put your name down, click register, and you'll be in. And then what I'll do is basically send you a link to click. Once you click that link, that's going to get you into the challenge. And then on Monday morning, it begins. We'll get you into the Facebook group. You can ask questions. I'll go on there live to go through a couple of things. It's not going to be that detailed because you've basically got everything in there anyway. And yeah, it's going to be good. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll learn a lot about muscle building. So looking forward to that. What else have I got to say? Yeah, no, that's it. Obviously, if you haven't already downloaded my Ultimate Training Program, you've got your workout on there. You've got your calorie and protein calculator. You've got a meal planner. You've got your body weight tracker. and exercise library. So it's all in one document for you, worth a few £100, and I'm giving it away for free. So download it. It's in my Instagram bio again. But any questions, as always, let me know. I will get back to you personally with an answer if I can answer it. But thank you again for listening, and I'd really appreciate it if you left a review and you shared this to your friends and family. Put it on your Instagram story, your Facebook, anything like that will massively help me. So I appreciate it. Yeah, that's it. I'll speak to you next week. Cheers, guys.